great pleasure to see you all with us this morning on this very, very topical subject. The angle of the conference today is to look at the impact of Brexit, as you know, on the European economy, corporations and investors alike, and also on their ability to access the financial services they need in a context where London represents today such a large proportion of wholesale financial services to the European economy. The idea of this conference came up at the beginning of this year when a number of prominent voices expressed concern that there might actually be a problem. Some people speak about a cliff effect because of Brexit, and there might be disruption in the financial services that the European economy needs. And when such important voices start saying that, we thought to ourselves, well, we have to work on this very topic, because obviously it is in nobody's interest that enterprises and corporations should not have access to the financial services they need. In order to address this fundamental question, we thought that we needed to think together with the best experts, and we invited 4 trade organizations, AFME, EFAMA, EBF, and Insurance Europe. They're all very well known, certainly in general, and in particular in the city of Brussels, to think with us and to work as partners to organize this conference. The objective was to gather the best possible experts to address both the general question asked by this conference and also the many more specific and detailed issues that make a difference when it comes to understanding the subject we're addressing today. I'm happy that we've actually gathered some of the most relevant experts on this topic. It will be my pleasure to introduce them throughout the morning as the moderator of the panels. We will also have the honor to listen to Olivier Guersan, Director General of DG FISMA, who will give the keynote speech of this conference at 11:30 this morning. Institut Friedland is the economic think tank of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Paris-Île-de-France. Our mission as a think tank is to contribute to the collective debate on the ingredients necessary to develop a prosperous economy and successful enterprises. In order to do that, we like to do 2 things. First, produce reports on topics essential to corporations and enterprises, and then share our thinking, push boundaries, and debate. Our motto is action-oriented economic thinking. En français, penser l'économie pour l'action. And it reflects well what we're trying to do. We're convinced that a good, healthy, and rigorous public debate on economic issues is essential for policymakers to make informed decisions that will benefit the economy and society. This is precisely what we will be doing together this morning. You will find in the folder you received a report produced by Institut Friedland entitled European Financial Services After Brexit. Its objective is to draw the big picture of European financial services after Brexit. What can we assume as more or less certain to happen, and what are the unknowns? What are the forces involved? Do we have 2 clear camps, the UK and the EU, facing each other, or is the situation more subtle or more complex than that? Brexit will be anything but negligible for the organization of financial services in Europe. Institut Friedland considers as a given that so-called European passports will be lost by City of London firms because of Brexit. Given that the number of such passports today is estimated to be above 300,000, shared by 5,500 firms based in the UK, and that around 20% of the City of London business, that's about £30 billion per annum, is likely to be impacted, a serious rethinking of the organization of financial services in Europe must be undertaken. In our report, we outline a number of issues whose outcome will draw the landscape of post-Brexit financial services in Europe. You will see reading it that, in our view, the main questions facing the European financial services are: 1, the outcome of the revision of the third country equivalence regime; 2, the debate on central clearing of euro-denominated financial products, this debate actually is a very interesting case of a balance to be found between bringing together competition and efficiency arguments versus financial stability and moral hazard arguments. And there are very valid arguments in our view on both sides, and we need to balance them out in order to find the solution that we all need to find together. And the third big question in our view is the issue of supervisory convergence and common standard setting between EU regulators. But I don't want to anticipate nor preclude the discussions we'll be having this morning. And without further ado, I will call the first panel that will address the issue around capital markets and post-trade services. If you please, the first panel to come on the stage. While the speakers take their seat, I would like to thank our trade partners, AFME, EFAMA, EBF, and Insurance Europe in this conference. Their participation is simply invaluable for the quality of this event.